Right now, I'm over in Studio A with Imogen Clark, originally from Australia, now based in Nashville. This is her radio only visit, so if you want to hear some music from Imogen Clark, listen up because there's no show tonight. Welcome to Studio A.
Hey, lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming in this morning, and why don't we just get started with a song? What's
Yeah.
the name of the first one?
I'm going to play this song called All Hard Feelings, the opposite of No Hard Feelings, and it's about basically how I've never gotten over anything that's ever happened to me in my entire life because I'm extremely petty and have trouble forgiving people. So here it is, All Hard Feelings. Say I'm fine, but I'm not doing well. Perpetually overwhelmed. Every cruel thing they ever said, living rent-free in my head, building up my emotional debt. I'm the wound, I'm the salt, and it's probably my fault that I fall too hard. And I show them my cards, only play their hand when they know I'm all in. Then I line on up and do it all again. I'm going under, singing I'm over it, fight for the closure. But maybe it don't exist. I love, but I don't let go. Every paper cuts down to the bone. Time doesn't ease my mind, 'cause I'm all hard feelings. Lost my mind trying to understand yours, even though I knew what I was in for. I can't remember what I did last week, but I can still hear your burnt CD. Hey, it's just another thing on repeat. I'm a mess, I'm a fraud, give you everything I got, only see what you want, and what you want is a blonde. So I put you in my pocket and I'll carry you around with everybody who ever let me down. I'm going under, singing I'm over it, fight for the closure. But maybe it don't exist. I love, but I don't let go. Every paper cuts down to the bone. Time doesn't ease my mind, 'cause I'm all hard feelings. I'm going under, singing I'm over it, fight for the closure. But maybe it don't exist. I love, but I don't let go. Every paper cuts down to the bone. Time doesn't ease my mind, 'cause I'm all hard feelings, all hard feelings. Say I'm fine, but I'm not doing well.
That's Imogen Clark performing the first track from her latest release, Choking on Fuel. That's All Hard Feelings. And tell us about the folks that collaborate with you on that song.
Yes, so I have the wonderful Sinead Burgess and Blake O'Connor. They are both Aussies who live in Nashville now as well, and they're good friends of mine. They wrote that song with me, so they both sing harmonies on it, and also Blake plays a really great slide guitar solo. And also Mickey Raphael, who is one of the most, renowned and respected blues harp players in the world, and he plays for Bob Dylan, among many other people. And so, having him on that song was so much fun, and he does this really awesome, plays with an awesome harp. So that was really great to have him on that song.
And you've got some other guest artists here as well, Tommy Emmanuel
Yes.
and a couple other folks in Lauderdale as well.
Yeah, so Tommy Emmanuel plays on one of the tracks on the record, and Jim Lauderdale as well. We also have Kezia Gill, a UK Americana artist. There's a lot of guests on there that I'm just so grateful to have written songs with, or have them, collaborate on the album itself. So it was a real collaborative effort, this album.
All right. Well, let's hear another song, then we'll
Yeah.
chat a little bit more. Is this next one off your new release as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So all the songs I'll play today are off the new album, and this one requires a little story because it's called Squinters. And the reason for that is that there's a nickname. Squinter is a nickname that we give people where I'm from in Western Sydney. If you live in Western Sydney, but you live in the city of Sydney, and you're always commuting to and from for work, we call those people squinters because they're driving home after their 9 to 5, squinting into the sun as it sets in the west. So that person is a squinter. And I wrote this song with Steve Poltz, and it's about the nightmare of what I feel my life could have been had I never gotten out of my small town and had the courage to do something else. So here it is, Squinters. It's so easy to bend time, all my shirts on the clothesline. Now I'm dancing in halftime, and I'm wondering, why did I take a left turn? All it gave me was heartburn. You'd think that one day I might learn, but it's thundering outside. Got a soul full of splinters, driving home with the squinters. All the summers and winters in disguise. I like to tell myself lies. Here I am in the drive-thru, with a shake and a loose screw. Gotta make some decisions, a side of fries with my provisions. Now I'm stuck in the suburbs, I guess we should have used rubbers. I'm trying not to feel smothered, but I can feel you kick. Got a soul full of splinters, driving home with the squinters. All the summers and winters in disguise. I like to tell myself lies. When I was a girl, I used to dream. Now all I do is sleep. Waking up to the sunrise, in the distance I hear cries. I still like to fantasize about what could have been. Got a soul full of splinters, driving home with the squinters. All my summers and winters in disguise. I like to tell myself lies. I like to tell myself lies.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Imogen Clark performing a few live selections from her latest release, Choking on Fuel. And tell us about growing up there in Australia. Who were some of the big names in music as far as you were concerned?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was brought up on a very healthy diet of quite a mixture between my parents. My dad is the biggest Led Zeppelin fanatic on this earth and I think owns every t-shirt they've ever made. And so I grew up a lot of British rock, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, and also my mum was a big sort of singer-songwriter folk fan. So Simon and Garfunkel, Martin Sexton, people like that. And so I feel like I got a really great basis for a mixed genre music education, which was lovely. And then there are also some very specifically, Australian artists that were so influential to me. People like Missy Higgins and artists called Diesel that I got to tour with a lot. So it's been a real mixture for me.
And you were actually performing live in venues when you were in high school. What kind of music are we talking about here?
Well, at first it was just covers before I realized that I wanted to write songs and before I'd written any songs. And I was 12 when I started playing professionally in bars. So I wasn't even allowed in the bars without my parents. So they had to come with me, drive me everywhere because I couldn't drive. And really just pubs, clubs, sometimes cafes, things like that around Western Sydney and eventually in the city of Sydney. And, it just kind of grew until eventually I realized that what I loved, while I loved performing other people's songs and I loved singing at all, when I wrote my first song when I was 13, 14, I realized that's where my biggest love is. It's not just for performing, it's for performing my own songs.
And you've relocated to Nashville. Now, were you taking a pretty big chance making that move, or was it sort of the logical next step?
Well, I guess a little bit of both. I mean, the first time I went to Nashville, I was 19 and I came to perform at the Americana Festival with a bunch of other Aussies. And I had never been to America before. And I knew on that first trip that I wanted to live here in the States and I wanted to live in Nashville. It just took about 10 years to actually bring that dream to reality. And it feels like the logical next step for me because it's the home of where the music I love comes from, but also it is scary and a big deal to move to the other side of the world and my whole family's back in Australia, but it's been so rewarding and the people I've met here and the crowds I've gotten to play for here when I've been touring the US in the last couple of years has just been, I mean, they've all been so welcoming to me.
Well, thanks for coming in this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Imogen Clark performing live from Studio A. What is the name of the last song you're going to play for us?
I'm going to play the current single off the new album. It's called If I Want In, and it's kind of about what I was just talking about. It's about leaving your small town and realizing that your town that you grew up in made you who you are, but it also makes you realize sometimes that you need to leave to find the next thing that's on the horizon. There's a railway hotel in every town around here. If you stick around long enough, they'll make you disappear. There's ice in the summer, there's fights in the bars. And out west of the city, you never see stars. Everyone I know is either married or in rehab. I couldn't say which one is worse. I got too much supply and never enough demand. I'd kill to live it in reverse. If I want in, I gotta get out. If I want in, I gotta get out of this. If I want in, I gotta get out of this town. I'm going after this fever dream. You gotta leave to be the homecoming queen. And I've left pieces of myself inside every single dive bar here in Western Sydney. So I took pieces of her with me. Everyone I know is either married or in rehab. I couldn't say which one is worse. I got too much supply and never enough demand. I'd kill to live it in reverse. to find who I am. The streets of Windsor screaming, get out while you can. Don't wanna be a mother and wife to a man who I've known since I was 10. And he's telling all our friends, you should hear her when she sings her little songs on the weekends. Everyone I know is either married or in rehab. I couldn't say which one is worse. I got too much supply and never enough demand. I'd kill to live it in reverse. If I want in, I gotta get out. If I want in, I gotta get out of this. If I want in, I gotta get out of this town. If I want in, I gotta get out. If I want in, I gotta get out of this. If I want in, I gotta get out of this town. Oh, I'll see you around. Oh, 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 oh. If I want in, I gotta get